there. Twisted Sage here. Happy Sun Trine Moon Day. Moon is currently 24 Aries. And the Sun is 23 Leo. Famous persons. We want to get an idea of how a person might be with just those two alignments. Good old Tom Brady, Sun in Leo, Moon in Aries. Audio brought to you by my son Jaden this morning. You're good, son. Keep it going. Yeah, I would say it's should be a pleasant day. So trines again are your gifts, ruled by Jupiter is the trine. It's an easy flow of energy. So emotion and heart can work as a one unit. There's no trine involved, it just flows. Like a river running into a lake or an ocean. We are off to go. I gotta get one of my teeth checked. This will be Jaden's first time going to the dentist without it being a painful visit.
Which I'm happy about.
I'm getting a tooth that I had filled years ago. It's been giving me some pains, and I'm hoping that it can be saved. Probably not, though. Just for your knowledge, it is, I want to say it's Leos that have potentially the most misfortune with teeth problems. Capricorn and Saturn ruling over your teeth, so it doesn't have to be just Leos. But the Capricorn is a quincunx angle to the Leo energy. Also, actually, Neptune can bring the dissolving of teeth. So maybe Pisces actually gets to jump in that scenario as well. I know Jaden actually so he's a Cap Moon, Scorpio rising, ruling planet in Capricorn, and he has so he has Neptune sextile his Pluto, which many will have, but it's his ruling planet. Pluto's his ruling planet, and he had to have his whole front grill capped just so he'd have teeth in his adolescent years. And he possesses 0 Leo in his chart. I'm sure there's more knowledge for me to acquire about that. But yes, and I know a young Pisces girl who probably is Sun in Pisces, definitely Neptune in Pisces. I don't know what her Saturn is, but I know that she's not even 8 years old. But either way, her teeth dissolved real early in life for the fronts. Anywho, I was going to go ahead and talk about the departing of my friends. You know, for me, that that big full or that grand square alignment was quite big. Saturn ruling career, Saturn being in Aquarius, dealing with your groups of friends, had to go. Now, of course, there's part of me that feels bad, but not. But there's part of me that feels absolutely better that I did that. To start with my one friend who is an Aries Sun, an Aries Mars. He's a Gemini rising, and his ruling planet is in Pisces. So mentally, he's kind of disabled there. One that is like 27 to 26 exact square with that Pisces, Mercury, and Gemini rising. So the dude's smart, he's clever, he's quick, but his head's in the clouds, and that square brings internal mental conflicts. If he wasn't a good soul, he might be a good candidate for being a serial murderer. He also has Jupiter and Uranus in Sagittarius, so he's got the T-square going on. Now, because that ruling planet is in Pisces, is probably Pisces rules addiction and it rules alcohol. And so perhaps he does need that daily alcohol, eases his tension, eases his mind, allows him to be in a more flow state. And I love the dude. But I also love my mom, and we obviously know that isn't a healthy daily energy for me as well. But I'm quite mental myself. I have a lot of air, and Aquarius likes to get stuck in the machine head. And when others are interacting with you, you have to get out of your head to interact with them. Well, Brian just comes with me with simple, stupid fucking conversation a lot of time. Didn't mean to put your name out there, brother. But whatever, you're angry at me, whatever. You want to punch me in the face? Go for it. Bring your Aries shit. I'm just trying to give people the language of astrology that they don't realize they're missing. And perhaps it isn't for everybody. After we stopped at Flagstaff Sunday after the hike, and we were talking about the astrology of Flagstaff, and some guy who worked there jumped in, was talking about Winslow, and he happened to be a Gemini, but I saw Leo in his chart, and we started conversing about it to him, and he was like, I don't want to know. So perhaps don't. There are people that want to live a simpler path. To know means more responsibility and perhaps more stress. And maybe I'm a great example of that, but I've always had a heavy working mind. The love of my life, I think her mom once said, even at 18, it was like I was going through a midlife crisis. And the midlife crisis can be that around that 42 age, when you have your Uranus opposed, or transiting Uranus opposed your natal Uranus. But let's go back to topic. It seems I'll never be an organized motherfucker. Anyways, and I seem to always be scattered in the mind as well. But whatever, learn to love your design. So Brian just comes, whatever, I'm gonna use your name, bro. comes at me with this Gemini shit. And it's like, oh, what about this? What about that? And I'm like, dude, you fucking know how to paint. Just do it. Stop fucking deterring my fucking mind from focusing on my task at hand. And then he's an early degree Aries sun. So what that does to me is frustrate the shit out of my 2 degree Cancer moon. So just the way his directness frustrates my emotions, and or maybe my soul if you want to go deeper. But his Pisces mind is there's some deceptiveness about it. And I can't also help feel the small level of jealousy that's always come from his corner. Now, if we're just chumming it up, having a good time, drinking together, fine, things are great. As someone that's trying to employ himself or have steady work, I can't be drinking on the fucking job. That's just not something I can do. And we've all been sober people around drunk people. Well, maybe we haven't all, but if you've ever been a sober person around drunk, it bugs. All right, this one's getting long. I'll go ahead and hit you with more of my recent full moon adventure. Sorry, there's a tradition of going over cattle guards and you ghost ride the whip. Start at